Well, good evening everybody. Good evening to Slim. Welcome back to Virtual Pool Online. We're back again for some more Friday Night 9-ball. And Larry's going to be defending his win from last week. His first win in Friday Night 9-ball for a couple of weeks, I would imagine. And we have, at the last count, 13 in. So there was 3 spots left. I don't know whether we'll get any more now at this stage. How many is there? It says 6 open seats. That can't be right. Let's refresh that. That's a bit better. So according to that, there's 14 in now. And I think that's one more than last week though. We've got Bankster, Bedhead, Black Jagged, Charlie Bravo, John Boo, Christian, Larry, Little Wolf, LS3, MC, Clarky, One Pocket Slim, Snakes, Semi-Pro, and Spectre Dawn. And the first thing Larry will be thinking is, don't give me snakes. That's what he'll be thinking. Good evening to Matt. We're streaming live on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Russian Facebook, sorry, which is VK. And just in case any Russians accidentally stumble across Virtual Pool 4. How long have we got left? Well, we're just on the top of the hour now, so the brackets should be going up. Well, there's going to be some hefty handicaps going by some of the names that are in this tournament tonight. Always got to be careful with that. Giving away the big money balls. So I reckon we're gone past the top of the hour, so this bracket should be going up. The event is active. And the bracket is up. And we've got Black Jagged and Semi-Pro at the top of the bracket, and then we've got MC, Clarky and Bedhead, and Larry has a bye. LS3 against Snakes. Well, the bad news for Larry is if LS3 loses against Snakes, Larry will get him in the second round. One Pocket Slim is playing Spectre Dawn. There's some good matches in the first round. I don't know what one to go with. We've got Bankster against Charlie Bravo, Christian has a bye, and John Boo is playing Little Wolf. Black Jagged, Semi-Pro. Well, I think it's a toss-up between One Pocket Slim and Spectre Dawn. What one do we go for? I think bearing in mind Spectre Dawn's had a fair rash of these Friday Night 9-balls, we're going to have to go in and see how Slim handles them. So that's going to be our first match. Good evening to Mark. And the lag's already just about to take place, I should say. And the one in the top's won it, whoever that is. And it's Spectre Dawn. There's no handicap. It's a scratch match. And scratch is the optimum word because Spectre Dawn has found a way to scratch straight away on the break. And what went there? The 5 and the 8's gone. Slim with ball in hand. I'm looking to see what we got there. We've got the 3, which it's just a wee bit awkward unless he wants to finish dead straight on it, but he could drop through on this 3 if he had the right angle, and he hasn't. So he may well have to play a tight one. Had he been dead straight on this 2, he could have just stunned it in and been straight on the 3. Problem though is he needs to get back on this 4, and that's not a great line because he's drawn into the 7 and he needs to get lucky here. In fact, he's not drawn into the 7. Looking at the angle, he's got a slight angle. Well, he'll take that. That's worked out perfect. Good evening to Popman. I was just sitting thinking there before I came online. Believe it or not, Virtual Pool 4's coming up to its 10th anniversary in August this year. I think it was August 2012. Sorry, 9th anniversary, what am I saying? I'm sure it was August 2012 that the offline was released. So 9 years have gone by in a flash. And then I think it was after the turn of the year that online came on. I can't remember. Certainly online's not been as long as offline. So anyway, Slim got the job done. And he also got a ball in the break. And looking pretty good here as far as I can see. I don't see any major stumbling block in this one. Now I'm just going to point something out as well. At these tournaments the last 2 or 3 weeks there have been, what, 3.5 hours at least. 3 hours 50 minutes. And for some reason I didn't have a great sleep last night. I think I woke up 2 or 3 times during the night. So I am even more sleep deprived than I normally am. I think it's because I was watching the football late on. And my brain was still buzzing. So I'm liable to fall apart within the next hour or two. He's just gone a wee bit too far. Dodgy line on this 5 ball. Just got to pick that angle. And now he's slightly dodgy in the 6. Now, I don't know whether he can check this up. Well, he's deciding just to play it long. And the danger was trying to run that around the table because he would have collided with the 9. But it should be fine. Good start for One Pocket Slim. And Spectre Dawn's not had a sniff so far. Is that 2 breaking? I think that's 2 breaking runs, isn't it? Well, no, it isn't, because Spectre Dawn scratched in the first break. And Slim has scratched on the 3rd. So Spectre Dawn does have his chance. And of course now, with Spectre Dawn coming to the table with ball in hand, it's not exactly pretty to be running this out. Now that 5 ball, let's have a quick look. That 5 ball goes, so it doesn't need to be moved. It goes from that side and it goes from this side, but obviously the 3's in the way there. 3's going to have to go first, obviously, but it does go, so nothing needs to be disturbed here. But that little blind pocket shot there has done Spectre Dawn. Now I wonder if Slim can get in behind this and come up towards the 4. We can get in behind the 3. I don't know what the angle's like. Well, he's actually pretty straight. He may well just come back up the table and leave the longer shot in the 3. Good evening to Spectre. Oh, now I don't know what he played there, because he certainly didn't get through the cue ball. And he certainly didn't. I don't believe he's decided to play for this combo, but that's what he's going to end up doing. But he's played it beautifully. Lovely touch. And now the only thing that can ruin it is a collision with the 7. That's how things go wrong. So another bite at the cherry for Spectre Dawn. Well, It goes past the 9, but it's tight. But he's going for it in the middle. And jacking up to hold it. Again, played it. Not any doubt. No umming and ahhing and thinking about it. Picking the angle and just getting straight through with the shot. Now this has got to bounce. That will do. So now Spectre Don has a chance to redeem himself with a break this time and try and keep the cue ball on the table. I see that Tepchai Unnu get his third maximum in his pro career in the qualifying rounds for the German Masters. Not that anybody's interested, but I just thought I'd mention it. That's the fastest player on the tour, or the fastest shot time anyway. Plus he's also got the highest break in the, what do you call that tournament? The one frame one. Can't remember what it's called either now. But anyway, he's got the highest break. Total clearance that he did in that. Can't remember what it was. Was it 140 something? And another thing, it's not long until the Moscone Cup. That is only a week or two away into November. So that's coming next. Which, for anybody that doesn't know, is the sort of pool version of the Ryder Cup between Europe and the USA. So we're going to be all square. And Spectre Don's done it again in the same pocket. Scratched again. And he's not getting that cue ball to come up straight in a straight line. You know, if you're going to break and you're either doing one or two things in VP4, you're trying to kill the cue ball when it hits the pack so that it stays in a sort of central position. Or the way Larry breaks, he usually brings the cue ball back to the bottom rail. But Spectre Don's not got it right. He's going offline and he scratched twice. So that, I mean, that's an alarm bell telling me you've got to change your break. You know, two out of three breaks and he scratched twice. But it has to be punished though. Slim has to take this out. And this time he has to go top side of that 6. He can't finish underneath the 6. He needs to go through by about 5 inches here. Well, that's too far. You see, he's given himself more work to do now. He only needed to go through about 5 inches. He's went through 1.5 feet. And now he's having to thin cut the 6. And that was careless. He's just dragged the pace off it. Now there's a good angle here to get up for the 8, but he doesn't want to be going, he'll be trying to avoid the 9, but he doesn't want to go near that middle pocket, and he's well away from it. And this time, again, I think he can just draw off this and play the 9 into that corner as we look. He might be just running through. Yeah, he's He's just got there. So, a scratch from Spectre Dawn has cost him dearly. Let's see, well, if Spectre Dawn gets another break, let's see if he changes it up. Well, you see, Slim's got not a lot of movement in the cue ball there. Just check my little doodle's working. But Spectre Dawn wants to try and change something, stop that cue ball running away. Now Slim, well, he's gone too far and he's titty hooked. The only place in the table you don't want to be, and again, he could well be leaving or letting Spectre Dawn off the hook here. Well, Spectre Dawn's going to be left with the problem with the 3-ball, and he looks as if he's just going to go up the table, back down and try and get in a line with this 3-9 here. So it's all about judging the pace. He could have done with running a wee bit more, but another 3-4 inches he would have been straight on. But and that's what done him. Another 3-4 inches would have been dead straight, and that would have been much easier to read that angle. I mean, I'm one to talk. I had a what did I have the other night there in that doubles game we played with? I think it was a 6-9 combo, and it was easier than that, and I missed it. Well, Spectre Dawn this time has got to go up and down again. Unless he wants to try and just trickle this in totally dead weight. Yeah, he's playing it the sensible way. Now, may well finish dead straight in this, but no problem. He just needs to drop it in, roll the 7 up the table, and he will be all square here. I'm giving him this one. So, 3 racks all. Now this time Spectre Dawn, has he been breaking from the same position? Yes, he has been, and he's doing something similar again. He's breaking right from where the cue ball appears, but the cue ball keeps heading left every time. So he's cutting the ball, he's cutting the break slightly, but this time he didn't do it quite as badly, which meant the cue ball didn't scratch. And it's always going to the left. Where's the cue ball going? I think he's okay. And looks odds on certainty for this one as well. 2 in a row will give him the lead. And again, just wants to more or less stop this cue ball and leave that nice little angle in the 5. Well, he's not where he wanted to be. He's now got to, I don't know whether he can hit this and hold it. He's doing his best. Not bad. Still got a shot. That's going to go in. Just the weight of it that kept it going in the pocket. I reckon it'll be a miracle if we keep our eye out and we see any Russians coming in the chat and VK. That'll be the biggest surprise I'll ever see. So, Spectre Dawn has got himself where he wants to be, out in front by the odd rack. And again, the cue ball heads in a left direction, but this time the line's better, same as the last one. But the break's dry. How thin is he going to... he's managed to avoid the 4. That was a big problem. And these are all awkward shots to read. And not only that, it's not the potting of the 2 ball that's the problem. It's the cue ball, and where you're going to try and leave it to have at least a shot in the 3. Yeah, see, Slim had 2 things playing in his mind there, where the 2 ball was going and the cue ball. Missed the 2, but he's got out of jail. Good evening to Cobra. So Spectre Dawn with the jump shot escape, but the thin cut in the 2 is on. Just give me 2 seconds. A quick look here and see what's happening. Get that updated. Well, we've got Black Jagged who's getting the 5 ball. He's 4-2 up against Semi-Pro. MC Clarkey and Bedhead. It's 4-3 to Bedhead at the moment. We've got Larry, of course, sitting there waiting on the winner of LS3 and Snakes. LS3 is 3-1 up, giving the 6 ball to the Snakes, this match that we're in. Bankster 4-2 up against Charlie Bravo, and Christian has a bye, and John Boo and Little Wolf. John Boo 4-3 up, Little Wolf getting 6 and out, so... Meanwhile, Slim looking at getting the job done here to square the match up. I think he's fine, can roll through and avoid the 9. He's straight enough. So this match has got Hill written all over it. Nobody commanding the table. Of course, that's all down to the break. A break and a shot. And again, you see how Slim's stopping the cue ball in the middle of the table, which in theory is the best place to be to give yourself at least a chance on something if you get a ball, and that's worked out perfect. Of course, the danger with stopping the cue ball in the middle of the table is the ball's crossing the table on the break. Something can kick into it usually, but if you get it right and you manage to avoid that, you'll have a central cue ball and very often a reasonable shot to keep the run going if the balls break nice enough, which they have done. Well, this is going to be a long 6 ball into the bottom left. Cue ball's just going to naturally run back up the table. And again, the problem here is where he finishes on that 7. Now, what he should be doing is drawing back slightly. That way, he can, if I can get my little doodle thing to work, that way he can pot the 7 and run down. You see, he's the wrong side, so now he's got to run around the houses. And I don't know how straight he is, but he can force it with spin to go round that way. And of course, the danger is that. Oh no, well, he did have the angle, but has he got into it? No, he hasn't. See what happens when you don't go behind the cue ball there. That looked as if he was having to run up the table. But anyway, he hasn't got there, so he didn't have enough angle, and he didn't have enough juice in it. And again, he's going to let Spectre Dawn off the hook here if he doesn't get lucky and get this safe, which is a tall order. Well, that'll do. That will do. Now Spectre Dawn won't resist the bank. Now these have to be done at a nice pace, because you're not going to get that double bank anymore. That's perfect. That's the pace you have to be playing banks at. You can't slam them. Slamming it's not going to do you any favours. So you have to give that ball every chance to take the angle off the rail and hold that line to the pocket. And if the pace is right, then it will use most of the pocket and go in. So it is a lead for Spectre Dawn that really shouldn't have been. And I think that's dry. Well, this is ugly. Dry break, Chinese snooker in the 1 ball. Now, what's Slim going to try here? Is he going to try and just push this in behind the 3 and 7? Oh, well, that's a bit ambitious. I thought he was just going to push that through and try and just send it up in behind the 7 and 3, I think it was. But I mean, that is really tough when you have Chinese snooker trying to play a combo. Well, I think Spectre Dawn can just see enough of the 3. But this could be the breakthrough in terms of a lead, because I don't think there's been any more than 1 rack in it. But Spectre Dawn looking like the favourite now to be 1 away come the next break. We got, I don't know whether, it was this week, we got an email through, or I got an email through from head office, and oh, that's going to scratch. Well, that is a real duffer there by Spectre Dawn. Too much juice in it. Straightened the cue ball up, didn't get that line off the rail, and he's gifted Slim a chance when he shouldn't have had it. Yeah, I got an email through this week. We are getting new uniforms at work. Did I say that? I think I said it last week. Or maybe I'm dreaming. But anyway, we're getting new uniforms, and I mean, the uniform for the staff is like blue tops anyway, or blue shirts, or blue polo shirts. I'd never have a shirt, because you've got to be moving in this job, and a shirt doesn't actually help you. But anyway, and then of course they give you the choice of wearing your own trousers. But the other thing they're bringing in is body cameras. we're going to have a spot on our tops where you can hook on a body camera. So if you get threatened at work, you switch the body cam. A bloody body camera's not going to protect you. I mean, I prefer a smack in the mouth if somebody starts getting threatening. Switching on your body camera's not going to do you much good when somebody's threatened to give you a mallet in the face. But that's the safety idea. Body cameras, just like the police. And a couple of results through it. John Boo and Little Wolf. John Boo's gone through 7-3, and Bankster has beaten Charlie Bravo 7-2. Well, is there no anybody in the lobby at all? Got to be somebody in away mode somewhere. Just send a message to Steve and say this guy needs dealt with. Anyway, welcome to any latecomers. Any that I've missed. What? LS3. So Spectre Dawn looks like regaining the lead again. That'll do nicely. Now, he needs his brake to hold up again for one more. Look at the cue ball. Well, this time he went in a roundabout route, but he tried to scratch again. Oh, I absolutely love that when a player starts going nuts because you three-filled them. That's like a red rag to a bull for me, that. Because the first thing I'll do in the next rack is try and do them again. What the hell's he doing in this room? Anyway, Slim looks as if he's lining up a push through here. Or is he? What's he doing? Yeah, he's just trying to push it through and kill it in the rail. Yeah, he's like a box of firecrackers. Well, that's one way of getting a hook. Easy kick for Slim. Going across the table on the off chance he might kick this in. But has he got enough room to manoeuvre there? Yeah, it's tight. But, how's that? Is there enough on that to showing? I think there is. Or is there? Well, he's out with the jump stick. This will need to be good to stay in the table. That's a good shot. No idea where the cue balls ended up, but it was a good shot. Result through in the big match between Bedhead and MC Clarkey. Bedhead through 7 racks to 5. Oh, that's just going to sneak out. Almost had it dead weight there to nail the cue ball, but just too much roll in it. Now, big shot here for Spectre Dawn. He has to obviously pot the 3 and avoid running into the 7. And that's why he's ended up way inside the 4. Another big shot. Now this cue ball could end up hooked behind the 6. Well, he's run into it, which will do nicely. Well, Spectre Dawn looking good now. So, Spectre Dawn takes out one pocket slim. Of course, again, it's another minefield on the one loss side. You're either going to come up against one of the big guns, or you're going to come up against somebody you're going to be given a heavy handicap to, so neither side of the tournament's easy. And we've had a few results through. Let's catch up. We've got Semi-Pro now 6-5 up against Black Jagged. We've got that result. Let's just dive in and see if we can catch the end of this match. Maybe not. I think it's maybe finished. Yep, I think it's the results just come through, and it has done. Black Jagged and Semi-Pro. Semi-Pro goes through 7 racks to 5. That's why we couldn't join the room. And now Semi-Pro is going to be playing Bedhead. Larry, well, why the hell is this match taking so long? LS3's only 3 racks to 1 up against Snakes, and he's coming into different rooms. What the hell's going on? I know if I had any say in it, I wouldn't belong in dealing with him. I've no time for arseholes. Simple as that. Right, so we've got Christian playing John Boo in round 2. Christian's 2-1 up. I think he's getting the 5 ball. He or she is. Spectre Dawn's to play Bankster. LS3 and Snakes might finish sometime tonight. And Larry's lying in wait for whoever. And Semi-Pro is going to be playing Bedhead. So we've got our match made up. We're in the first rack. There's a ball down. It's the 6 ball. And no shot for Semi-Pro, so Semi-Pro won the lag and broke off. Got a ball, but no shot. Push out called. Again, got to be careful with the push out. You see, he's just asking to be nailed to the 4 here. Bedhead can jack up and kill the cue ball, or he can just bank it and still finish behind the 4. Well, that's not so good, because I think Semi will still try jumping over the edge of the 4. Yep, you've got to get them tight. You know, more or less stuck on that ball is the one way to prevent the jump cue escape. And now it's a very good chance for Semi-Pro to win the rack that he broke on. And LS3's finally gone through by forfeit. I mean, there's another way to solve the problem of Snakes, and that is that when the sign-ups are about to close, the tournament director just boots them out, the sign-ups. So semi-pro completing the formalities in this first rack. Again, if he's going to pot the 8 ball into the bottom left, he's going to have to get back about 5 or 6 inches here, unless he wants to just roll through for the 9 into the middle. But you see, semi-pro's got the touch. That's exactly where you just want to play that stun draw. Yeah, I didn't enjoy the result in that second match. I played some duff shots. My attention span's very short these days, I'll tell you. So, semi-pro 1-0 up. And let's just say he's got Bedhead in trouble, but Bedhead could do a fancy thing here. He could just jump to the rail if he stays in the table and then come back onto the 1. And he's actually trying to jump it and clean it. Well, the only thing that went wrong there was the double hit. Ended up getting kicked into the pocket. So Bedhead might have what to do after this visit from semi-pro. He's just sizing up the lay of the table. Doesn't need to touch the 8 or the 9 as long as he gets down for the 8. And that's the only thing to worry about, is how good he is on the 6 ball when he gets to pot this 5. Oh, did he? I never noticed. He touched the 9 ball on that jump, would have been a foul anyway. So, I never noticed. I don't quite understand your wording there, Potman. He touched the 9 ball on that jump, would have been a foul. So that meant a semi-pro had ball in hand. I missed it. I was too busy looking at the chat. Well, that 5 ball, he gave it every chance to go in, but Bedhead's got a get out of jail card here. And it's got to be the big draw, because I don't think you try and pinch anything off the rail here, because this ball is deep in the pocket. This is where you can end up looking a bit of an umpty if you don't go down and look at that 5 ball. Just got to get the big draw in it. And that will do. So this is the one. And, well, he's going to have to a bit of fire in this and spin to get this running. He's a bit straight. He's going to have to punch it. And the spin does the trick. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Nice little angle on the 8 just to come straight back off it. 9 into the same pocket. Now the angle in that 6 ball was not perfect, but where it did work is forcing that cue ball through with the left spin, and it's the kick off the rail that gets the action in the cue ball and gets you down onto position. Well, 3 balls into the same pocket in the top left, 1 into the right middle. So the 1, the 3, the 4 and the 7 have gone, and Bedhead's got a shot in the 2. Well, it was very unlikely he wasn't going to have a shot in the 2. He was going to knock every ball off the table. And dare I say it, he should be out. Big draw all around the angles. Now, this is where he's going to come back across the table, because you play it with left hand spin so that when you hit the rail, you come back this way. No, he's hitting it soft. chickened out in the flashier shot there. Or did he play the sensible shot? I think he played the sensible shot. And I think, yeah, he's dead straight. He can pinch a wee bit of an angle if he wants to just run around the angles, but he's just looking to draw into the open country, give himself plenty of room. So this all came about from semi-pro leaving himself on the underside of that 5-ball, and that gave Bedhead his opportunity from that miss. Well, 2 balls in a break, and there's the danger ball. 9-ball right over the pocket more or less. Now, I mean, this table's easy enough to run out. The question is whether Bedhead runs it out or he pots the 4 and gets on the 5 to play the combo. I know what you should be doing. You should be running this table down to at least the 7-ball and then playing the combo. 7-ball's a far easier combo than trying to get good on the 5. Now, how is the angle on this to run through? He's just the wrong side of this 4. You see, that's where things start going wrong. Now he's looking at the 5-9 combo. Yep. And that's all because he was an inch the wrong side. But he's actually finished pretty damn good in the 5. Odds on certainty to get this. But that wasn't... Oops. Wrong button. That didn't go as planned, but it worked out good in the end. But more importantly, it's a 3 racks to 1 lead. So there's daylight between them. And this time Bedhead's had one of those dead breaks where the balls move but they don't all start running. And it's dry, and he should be in trouble here. And this is what you don't want to be doing, having to kick. But he's got the 1, played it perfect. Well, now after having done that, he's going to have to go all the way, because danger is threatening here at 3-1 down. No. I'll tell you what I'm doing though. I'm moving a lot of crap around in front of me here. Pens, bloody magnets out my old mouse. Loads of garbage. Thank God I've not got a camera on this stuff. Place is a tip. Well, that's a good shot. I think you can see the thin edge. Oh, no, you can see loads of it. Well, it's not a combo. Another couple of results through. Christian has gone through 7-2 against John Boot. And One Pocket Slim has taken out Charlie Bravo on the 1 loss side. 4 racks to 2. To the current 8-ball. It's on that, I don't know whether Napnicker's watching tonight, but he's got his, is it semi? He's got his spreadsheet with the winners of the most recent tournaments, or the big tournaments that is. Yeah, I think it is semi-pro because it was on the bar table, the last one that we did. I think it was a pit stop or somewhere like that. This time it's the 10-footer. Well, this is where you want a cigarette paper's width on the touch in this 7-ball. And now, if Bedhead can get the cue to the cue ball here, see, that's the only thing that's going to do him here is because he's close to the rail. He could try and get in behind this 8 and 9 here. Now he can just play this gentle enough with a wee bit of left and just let that spin off the cue ball on the rail, just take it in behind the 7. Well, he's gone all out for the bank and breaking them open, and he might escape here big time. Well, I don't know whether that was the wisest move that I would have played, but I would have went for the snooker, but in the end it's worked out okay. Well, he's dragging into this. I don't know whether he's dragging in to let this run up the table and around the angles and out for the 8, or whether he's just trying to drag up past the middle pocket. Yep, that will do it. Well, Semi-Pro looks as if he's going to have work to do here. Oh, by the way, Potman, did you say you got Kartcraft? Because the Genk kart circuit came out a couple of weeks ago. It's in the game now. And did you see the post on Facebook? I don't know whether you've followed the Kartcraft Facebook page, but they're bringing out a track with like a cross-country go-kart thing. Have you seen it? They did a post today, and it's only people that have got the game that will get those updates free, because the price of the game's going to go up. If you read the post, I can't remember what Kart Cross it's called. That's what it is. They're bringing out a Kart Cross track. By the way, I tried the game today, and whatever they've done, my steering wheel was totally reset. And yeah, if you just go onto Facebook and search for Kartcraft, you'll find their page and you'll see the post on it. But the updates that they've done has reset my steering wheel, and I went on to that Genk circuit today for 5 minutes just to try it out. I had to key in all my buttons again, and the cart's sliding all over the place. They totally reset everything. And they still haven't got the online now this game, remember I talked about this a long while ago. I've been following this game for about 8 years now, since it was, first mentioned. And then we heard nothing of it for 3 years, and I've still never been invited to try online. I applied for it umpteen times. I've never ever been asked to join online yet. They're still testing it all. Anyway, more important matters here for Semi-Pro. Trying to keep things tight here. But is that going to be exposed, that 5-ball? Yes, it is. Now again, Bedhead's got to be brave enough if he wants to play this thin, but he can still come up towards this 7-ball. Looks as if he's lining up the bank. That's well played. Well played, the fact that he got the bank, but how's he going to deal with this 6-ball? Well, this is so difficult to keep safe and not leave Semi-Pro a shot. Well, I think Semi's got no option here. I think he's got to go all out for either the very thin cut if he thinks he can get it, or the bank. I'd be going for the bank because the cut looks really thin. Yep, that's why it's caught the jaw. But this time Semi-Pro has almost escaped, but it's an easy kick, this 6-ball. The only thing you don't want to do is go up and down and follow it in. He thinks he can maybe just chip it going around the corner. Yeah, that's the problem when they're in the pocket. I think he should have went up and down now. Hindsight is a great thing, but Semi-Pro won't be caring. He's got to take this out to try and stay in touch. So, Semi-Pro with the break in rack number 7, trailing by 2 racks to 4 in this race to 7. Breaks dry though. And that will do nicely. All of these updates are free updates to everybody that's already got the game. So they are. Well, Semi-Pro has kicked, but he's not got lucky. The bedhead is going to have to come down on the short side of the 3, I would think. On this side as we look to have a decent shot at it. Obviously the 8 and 9 are guarding the other side of the 3, so, and the angle he's got on the 2 isn't great. Yeah, and it's going to be the bedhead cut, and he doesn't really need to worry about the cue ball in the sense that it's going in the one direction it has to go, which is back down the table here towards this 4. But that's wiped its feet and stayed up. And Semi-Pro going to have to get this cue ball moving. Again, the 3 balls deep in the pocket. Anything but right on top of the 4. Needs a nice little kiss, and that will do. Absolutely perfect. But he knows he has to get this done. Now, thinking ahead here, has to have a good angle on this 7 ball. He has to be able to manoeuvre the cue ball out into the table left side. Really, that's the most obvious place to be. You want to be obviously here to play this 8 ball. Now, where he is now, how does that look from his end? Well, he's just going to roll straight through, I think. I mean, he can cut it in the middle and still finish this side of the 8, but I mean, he could also roll through. Just a wee bit more pace than he would have really wanted, but shouldn't be any problem. Beppo Beponi on YouTube. Good evening. So semi-pro back to within one with the break. Wants a ball and a shot this time. Oh, well, look at the 9 ball, and it's dry. Oh no, a ball's got in at the last second. Well, is he just going to slam this into the 4 and the 9? I think that's what I'd be doing. A good old heave-ho and not scratch with the cue ball. And that's a quick way to win a rack. Well, this time semi-pro got a bit of the running. 9 ball hanging over the pocket. All he had to do was get a ball onto it one way or another. And we're all square. But straight back to the dry break. And he should be nailed here in a second. I don't think that 1 ball pots. So this is just crying to be nailed to the 6 ball. And again, Bedhead hasn't got it tight. I mean, it's not difficult to kick the 1. Semi-pro looks as if he's considering the jump stick again. Well, at least he hit the 1. I think that was a tall order to jump that and pot it, let alone hit it. And he's gifted Bedhead an opportunity. Now, where's the problems here? Well, it's going to really be from the 5 to the 6. Because again, the 5 up table and the cue ball has to finish down the right side to get the 6. So that's the problem. That's fine. But this is the problem shot about to come up. He needs an angle. Well, roughly where he is just now with the cue ball. Well, he's gone inside the 5. Now he can still get over to this side here behind the 6. He needs to miss the 7 though. Avoids the scratch. Well, that's better than nothing. Can he avoid the 9 though? Well, this is dangerous. He could scratch off the 9 here. Oh, he's just managed to stun it back. Little soft draw back. Perfect. And these you've got to just be careful with. That you don't put too much angle on the he's going to run forward. No, he's coming back. It looks as if he was going to run with top there, but you just want to don't get too much into this, the wrong angle here. You could drop into the middle pocket. Well, he's tried the big stunt. And in the end, it's a big miss. Well, he could have left this easier for semi-pro. But semi-pro looks as if he's going to take the lead. Now, how's the break going to work out this time? Well, lots of movement. 6 ball looked as if it was tracking, but no joy. And when you come to the table with the balls like this and your bedhead, you know you've got to be running out. I mean, they're all on. Well, this is kill it absolutely stone dead, because you'll leave yourself an angle in the 3. You don't want to be running into the 9 though. This could be a wee bit awkward here if he doesn't get this right. You see this line that he's got in the 3 ball, he's now maybe going to have to take evasive action here just to avoid the 9. Yeah, just a little stun. Because had the 9 ball not been there, you could have just run through to the rail and back out for the 4. But dealt with the problem. Now, again, the cue ball, if you look at the line and you're just running through, the cue ball wants to go that way, unless you do something with the cue ball. Well, if he doesn't scratch, it'll be perfect. And that will do nicely. Well, just a drop in. That's how simple you want them. Just to be rolling them in. So, bedhead, back all square, ball in the break, 5 ball is gone, shot in the 1, pretty much straight in the 2 I think. Well, he's got an angle, but where does he pot the 3? That's the big question. Well, he can get up the top side of the 3 and have a shot on it, either into the middle pocket or back down into where the 2 ball's going. Is it going to get there though? Well, he's neither here nor there. And MC Clarkey on the 1 lost side has taken out John Boot, 4 racks to 2. And Bankster has taken out Spectre Dawn by 7 racks to 5. Bankster again getting use of his handicap. What was the deal in that match? Bankster was getting the 6 ball, and that just shows you what happens. I keep saying it with Bankster. He is no fool, and if he's getting the handicap and you get careless, and he's well capable of getting to the 6 ball, and he's taken out Spectre Dawn because of it. But Semi-Pro looks as if he's going to regain the lead. Simple enough 8-ball. Oh, the yawning started. I think it started at the same time last week. It was about 8:10 last week, and the brain started in shutdown mode. But like I said earlier, I didn't have a great sleep last night. It was a sort of broken sleep, and I'm paying the price for it. 6-ball goes in. Delicate little shot in the 1, just to get good on the 2 and avoid hooking himself behind the 7. And because of that, he's missed the 1. And now the pressure's on Bedhead. They are all there, and the big problem is going to be immediate. When he pots the 1 and he gets on this 2, how good an angle is he going to have to get somewhere on this 3-ball? Now, there's a very small area to get this cue ball in to have a shot, and it's certainly not from this side. And he can pot this and stun right up the table, and if he misses the 5, he should have a shot. It needs to get running though. Perfect angle on the 2 to do that. It needs to have the legs. Oh, I think he's just got there and no more. I think he's just got there. On a pinpoint spot to get the shot in the 3. Oh, he didn't need to brush into the 9 though. And he's doing his best to muck this up. And he's hung the 4. And he was nowhere near good on that 5, even if he had potted the 4. But Semi-Pro has the table at his mercy to take out Bedhead. Well, Spectre Dawn, sorry, what am I saying, Spectre Dawn? Bedhead was what, 4 racks to 1 up, was he? And it's all come off the rails. And Semi-Pro completes the formalities. And he goes through. Bedhead over to that 1 lost side. Semi-Pro wins by 7 racks to 5. Right. So, we've had a good few results come through there while that match was on. And we'll see how things shape up. We've got that result just updating just now. Larry is 6-5 up against LS3, and it's a scratch match. We've got Bankster through to play. Well, that match is already underway. Christian's 1 rack to 0 up against Bankster. Larry and LS3 will nip in and see the end of this, unless it's already finished, which it might have done. I think we've just come in at the wrong time. No, we're okay. And, well, Larry actually scratched before I arrived in the room, so he can't blame me for that one. But LS3 has an opportunity here. I think she's the wrong side of the 2, just slightly. And now, this is delicate. Because there's traffic in the way here. LS3's just gone out to get lucky here. Now she could have stunned that, yes, a bit firm, just to try and get the cue ball across the table to be able to see the 4. And she's had a blast at it and not really got a shot. But that will do as a safety. Well, Larry's gone all out for the bank, but it's given LS3 the chance to take this to the hill. But this is again another shot where you need to get good in the 5, and she's way too square. And the problem now is the dilemma is checking this cue ball with right English to stop it going up the table, but going back across. The problem is actually seeing the 6. And, well, that's odds on that was going to happen. And I don't think LS3 considered their options that much there. But she's done the right thing. I think the difficulty was trying to hold that and still see the 6 anyway. But you could have went all out and around the table if you were going to be aggressive. LS3 hoping to get another chance. Well, here it is. Problem this time is, though, cue ball's going to clatter into the 9. And where's it going to end up? Well, if it keeps spinning like that, it'll be pretty good. Just a roll in the 7. And LS3 will be breaking in the decider. How do I need a new mouse pad? Mouse pad's perfectly okay. So the break's dry. Once again, Larry will be all out for the bank, I would imagine. Oh no, he could make the cut. That's even better. The only problem is he's not in great shape. But I reckon if he can get a shot in this 3, he'll be looking good. It's a toughie. Well, he just misses the point on the pocket there. That might have done him a favour because he's the wrong angle to 3. And now he's trying to go through the gap between the 5 and the 8. And that'll do nice as well. Well, I reckon just dropping this in dead weight will do the trick. And now everything looks pretty good. Just slightly inside the 5. But it shouldn't cause that much of an issue. I think you can still hold this slightly. Yeah. So Larry, as long as he gets on the 8, which he has done, is going to be home and dry. And remember, Larry going for 2 in a row this week. So Larry goes through against LS3, 7 racks to 6. Now, well, that's going to update, and it's going to be Larry against Semi-Pro. We've got Bankster 2 racks to 1 up against Christian, and MC Clarkey against Spectre Dawn. On the 1 loss side, Spectre Dawn 2-0 up in that match. A scratch match will nip in. Well, it's about to go 3-0, I think. Again, it's only a race to 4, so it could be all over in the brink of an eye. Or the blink of an eye. But there's your chance. Left himself in the square position in the 9. And MC Clarkey has got his shot. Oh dear. Oh, I thought he'd overcut that. But he is off the mark. One ball's tracking to the pocket. So's the cue ball. I think it's going to stay up. He's going to have a shot in the 2. And he's going to have to run forward and avoid hitting things to come back into the table and have a cut down the rail in the 3. I don't know whether he can get enough room to do that though. With the angle the cue ball's going to come off this rail. That's the problem, is avoiding the traffic. Now he's also got a choice, all out for the bank. And if he misses, it'll be his last shot if he doesn't get this 3 ball safe, because everything's wide open. It's all or nothing on the 3 ball. How's his luck? Well, it could have finished worse. Well, Spectre Don, he's looking at this pocket here, but if he plays that pot, he's got to do stuff with the cue ball to avoid the 5, and he's hit it narrow. Well, this is no good either. Got to dig into the cue ball here. Nice. Well, this is a bedhead cut if ever I've seen one. Again, the problem is avoiding the 7 ball. Well, he's missed the pot in the 4. He has run into the 7. He'd have been hooked in the 5. And I don't think that 7 ball has come to his rescue, because the 5 goes past, no problem. But can Spectre Don get there? Well, he's quite content to take his medicine and lay it tough. I mean, this is not an easy shot either. Well, he's played it well. Dead weight. Hold nicely for the 6. And he should be on the hill. And Bedhead comfortably through in the 1 loss side against Little Wolf. Is there anybody else in the chat watching this other than this fool that we have at the moment? Is there not anybody there can deal with this hog in the chat? Yeah, isn't there any admins here can deal with it? Because it's beginning to bug my tits. There might not be any admins in the VP4 lobby, but if there's nobody out there to deal with it, I'll deal with it. Well, this is a good opportunity here for Matt to stay in it. He's bottled out there. He didn't go through with the shot. He needed to get back up the table there to be nice on that 5. But he's played a good one. And the only problem now is the connection of this 8 ball. He's making it tough for himself. Well, pace looks good. Cue ball's fine. And the angle is perfect. So, what would you do for a ball and a shot here? Trailing by 1, race to 4, 6 ball tried to go in, and in the end nothing's gone in. And well, there's trouble ahead for Spectre Dawn here. He's got the 1, loads of room to get down onto the 2, or back onto the 2, whatever way he plays this. What's the angle like? But he's going to have to be playing at an awkward 3-4 combo from not a very great position. He's got very little room to manoeuvre here. Yeah, I mean, I found the table difficult. I don't think, has he got there? He might have nailed this perfect. I don't think he could have got himself in any better position to play that combo. Absolutely spot on. Well, Spectadon likes to do things the hard way, because I don't think there's any way you can avoid the 6 unless you try to draw off it. Yeah, he's brushed onto the 6, and now maybe his only option is to try and leave this awkward. Or is he looking at the 6-9 combo? He's giving it a good look. Had a go at it, and there's a lifeline here, albeit absolutely nothing easy with this one either. It's a cut back in this 6 ball. Cue ball's running all over the shot. Well, he's dragged the pace off it. Run into the 7. Has he overdone it? I think he has. That's gone too far past the pocket, and also to play the cut, it looks an odds on scratch here into the middle. Yeah, that was impossible to judge that to get it safe. I mean, if it had another foot of running, he'd have been on that top rail, but it was so difficult to judge. And so, Spectre Dawn, if he can roll the 9 in, is going to go through. Well, would you believe it? He didn't roll it in, tried to stun it in, stunned it offline, you hit the jaws, and that's what happens. We've got a final rack decider. 9 ball in the break, it's going to get spotted, and a Chinese snooker in the 2 ball for a shot in the 1. Couldn't have finished any worse. Well, that's a good shot. Good shot to pot the 1. Well, the 2 goes. It's tight. Yeah, he just brushed into the 7. Very difficult to read the angle. Well, Spectre Dawn blew it in the last rack on the 9 ball. Is he going to redeem himself here? Well, I don't see where the problem will be this time. It'll only come about if he doesn't get good in the 9 again, but the 8 ball is adjacent to the 9, which again is always the handy thing. And I think this match is over now. Well, he can't miss this one. So Spectre Dawn does remedy the situation, and he goes through on the final rack against McClarkey, or MC Clarkey as he likes to be known. So Spectre Dawn marches on. 2 seconds, guys. Yeah, we're just checking. I was checking YouTube there. We've got 2 mods on there to deal with this guy, and if it needs to be, just keep dealing with him. Anyway, sorry about the delay there. Where have we got to? Well, we've got Larry and Semi-Pro going at it in round 3. Semi-Pro 4-2 up is a scratch match. We've got Bankster against Christian. Bankster is giving the 5 ball to Christian. Bankster 6-3 up. There's nothing else happening in the one loss side other than the one pocket slim LS3 match where LS3's 3-1 up with the 8 ball. Let's have a quick look in there. And Slim going for the bank, but the 9 ball, has it got the legs and it going to hold the line? No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Just its dying breath it goes in. Looked as if it was going to hit the top rail. But, well, I think One Pocket Slim was blown in that ball to hold the line and go in at the dying breath. So, Slim back to within 1. And the break is another dry one. And LS3's got lots of balls to hide behind here. But it looks as if she's lining up the bank. Well, I don't know what the hell that was, but she's kicked a ball in. But of course now he ends up hooked in the 1. Now, the lifeline looks as if it could be the 6 ball. I don't think that's going anywhere really from that side. It does go from this side, but you've got to get right into the spot to play that. And One Pocket Slim having a good look round to see if he can find a way to deal with this 6 ball. Well, I thought the last 8 ball that was played was in the bar table, and Semi-Pro won it. Was that not right? Or we what was the one that? What was the one that Vince says won against Stubb? Was that not the one before? Oh, that was 10 ball, was it? Anyway, this match is going all the way by the look of it. And Bankster marches on the winner's side again. This time he was given a handicap to Christian, but Bankster goes through 7 racks to 3, so I think he's through in the hot seat match now. And the 1 ball goes in for Slim, and he's got a cut in the 2. Well, a nice little delicate cut. Now, he's got a choice of how he does this. He can come still down the left-hand side. He just has to get the pace right. And he's trying to get into the open. And that'll do. Not ideal, but it'll do. Slim with the one big important shot here to get good on the 7. He doesn't want to go underside that 7 or top side as we look. Well, there's no doubt he's got the angle, and the only way this is going to go wrong is hooking himself behind the 9. He certainly isn't going to play this side of the 8 ball. Now, well, he's going to nurse this in and just kill the pace in the cue ball, leave himself the little cut in the 9. So one pocket Slim hangs on in there, and he goes through and beats LS3 on that final rack. 4 racks to 3. Right, now, quick look how things are doing here. Well, Semi-Pro looks as if he's running away with the match against Larry, and Bankster is through to the hot seat match. So we'll dive in and see what's left in this match. Well, Larry now at the point of no return. Looks as if, well, he's got to get right down onto this 9, because it's, well, it's not really tight to the rail. Should be fine. Well, he does. He survives another one. But it's all backs to the wall now. Trailing by 3. The break needs to work. Well, he's got the 7 ball. 8 balls now hanging over the pocket. And he's going to have to play the combo. And it's going to have to be gentle to keep the 1 ball there. And he's also got to be careful that he doesn't hook himself on the 1 ball. It's just got to get to the 8 ball and no more to knock it in. Well, he's took a big risk. And that's what happens. I think he'd have been better off letting it roll onto it. Now, any other day that could have worked out for him. He would have been on the 1. But there was never a guaranteed certainty. Now, where's the 2 ball going? Well, Larry's get out of jail there, because that 2 ball's locked up in the 4. Semi-Pro with a dodgy cut in the 1. Now, is he going to try and get the breakout? No, he's just going to play safe. I thought he might have had an angle there. To maybe, I don't know whether it was on, but it looked as if there might have been a chance to cut the 1, go to the rail and hit that 6 and 2, but we'll never know. Well, Larry's banked the 1. I don't know whether he played it or not, but how's he going to resolve the situation with the 2 and the 6? Because that 2 ball's not going to go away from there. It's going to stay there more or less, depending on how hard he hits this. And the chances are the 2's going to be in the open. I think he's given it the old heave-ho. Well, Larry He's destined to win this week again, I think, after that shot. Now, is there enough room past that 4? Yes, there is. Plenty of room. And Larry needs all the luck he can get to survive on the winner's side. Now he's right on the rail, so that again he's limited with what he can do with the cue ball. He's just got to make sure he doesn't scratch when he pots the 3, but I don't think he's going to be doing much with it. He's just going to run the 3 in. Well, Larry got a little bit of the running in that rack, but you can't do much unless you get that little bit of the running, especially when the other player's sitting in the hill. You need to get those breaks. And he survives another one. Back to within 2. 5 ball gets kicked in by the 9. And, well, he's got no shot in the 1, but he can nail this onto the 7. Now that is where you need to be to take the jump out of the equation. You've got to get them to within that distance, and that totally takes any idea of jumping out of the problem. It's got to be a kick. Oh, that 8 ball would have went in. And just when semi-pro didn't need the double kiss, the 8 ball would have gone there. And Larry's going to bail out. And the cue ball should be heading down somewhere towards the 2, but he's got a lot of running on it. And now he's also got the problem of trying to skim off the 2 and miss the traffic. Well, he's going the other way to try and drop behind the 4 or the 8. What is it, the 4? And it's not covered. Well, this is a toughie to start with. And he's overcut it. I thought he would have went into the top pocket there with that one. But Larry now has got his chance. The 6 ball goes past the 9 down this end, and it's clear up, obviously up table. The line looks good, the pace looks good. Well, now he's got the nice angle just to stun this in, come back across in behind the 6. Well, he not quite get into it. He wanted a wee bit straighter on this 6 ball. Not quite as much as that. He might just run into the 9 here, draw it into the 9, but he's avoided it. And now he's back. Well, in, I say reasonably good shape. Again, he's just slightly the wrong angle, so he may well just go for the old heave-haw draw here into the open country again and not scratch in the middle. Well, he's dicing with death, Larry. He's hanging on by his fingertips. But it's going to be another one on the board. He's going to be back to within 1 with the break. Well, I might have jinxed semi-pro since joining this room. Don't anybody mention it. But Larry's got the 7. Well, everything's going in. What a break that was, and he's plumbing the 2. I mean, we've lost the 1, we've lost the 4, we've lost the 6, we've lost the 7, we've lost the 8, and this match is over. No, it's not. It's going to a final rack decider. I'm falling asleep here. Well, that was what? 5 in the break, was it? That's the most I've seen for a while. That was the break of the night, that one. Oh, he's dead straight in the 5, though. I think he's just got to kill it and come back an inch. That's where he wants to be. Oh, he's just come back an inch and a half, and that inch and a half is just too much. This is dodgy. He's got to watch the cue ball as well. Well, he's going to cut this across table, I think. Well, in it goes. Where's the cue ball? Cue ball's fine. So it's hill. Well, just when you wanted a good break, Larry get the best one we've had for weeks. And a straightforward enough run out. And he's also got another ball in the break. But this time, he's got no great shot in the 1. I think the bank is still on if he wants to risk it. There's just enough room to get in that gap between the 5 and the 3. But does he want to take it on? I don't know whether that was a good idea or not. We've shut him up in YouTube and now he's getting into the room. Well, that was a better idea from Larry. He's run for cover. He's got good cover. Oh, and now we're going to have a bit of tip and tapping here. Oh, we could be here for an hour, folks. Yeah, that's worked out bad. We've shut him up in YouTube and now he's buggered off into the room just to annoy the guys. Well, Larry's gone for distance. Now that is still a good shot because that makes it so difficult for semi-pro to judge the contact on this ball up here at the top end of the table. And semi-pro again done the sensible thing. You know, he's played a deliberate foul, he's left Larry with ball in hand, and Larry's got no option but to try and find cover again and find distance. And if he can get cover though, that'll really apply the pressure to semi-pro. But he doesn't want to bring this one into the open. And he's just crept out. Well, that's resolved that issue with the 1 ball. Well, Larry's looking to maybe bank this across and skim down behind the 3 and 5, but if he doesn't get close to anything, well, he's going to scratch. That's all backfired on him. Big mistake from Larry. Got the contact wrong. And semi-pro has got his reward, but it's from the unforced error from Larry this time. And Larry's number may well be up. Well, semi-pro now is going to have to go up and down the table, and if he doesn't avoid what's down this bottom end here, he'll have no shot, I don't think. Well, he's He's not got there, and Larry lives again. And Bedhead has won the Clash of the Titans in the one loss side. Bedhead goes through against One Pocket Slim, 4 racks to 1. Meanwhile, Semi-Pro has got himself in trouble. Well, that 5 ball will cut past the 6, but he didn't risk the jump to get there, and the cue ball hasn't spun into the rail, and Larry's got his chance. And it's times like this that you think Larry's destined to defend his win from last week, because things are running very nicely in a crisis for him. He's got it back all square. Semi-Pro had the opportunity to win the match, got himself in trouble, and this is the end result. If Larry can get nice onto this 8 ball. He's going to be at distance. What's the line like? Well, he's going to have to work the cue ball as well here. If he runs through, he's going to be desperately close to this 9 ball if he does. I don't like the line on this 8 ball. Well, he's kept it clean. He could have been right on top of that 9 ball, but it has worked out. He's held the line, and he's pinched it from Semi-Pro. So Semi-Pro moves over to the one loss side, and now we have a hot seat match between Larry and Bankster, and Bankster's going to be getting his handicap, and we know that he's good enough to get the use of it. We've seen it time and again. And on the one loss side, we've now got Spectre Dawn up against Semi-Pro, and Bedhead is given 6 and out against Christian. That's a big handicap in a race to 4. And so Spectre Dawn and Semi-Pro, race to 4, something's got to give. And we will go in and watch that one while Larry starts off against Bankster. And here we go for the lag. Well, that cue hasn't appeared yet. And, well, as I said, everything was going okay for Semi-Pro when I joined. I think he was 6-2 up, and Larry was at death's door. And I jinxed someone one way and favoured somebody the other way, so it all went on its head. The running started going for Larry. He got the breaks and managed to steal it at the last kick. But I've known it through the years. I mean, if ever you get yourself, you know, 5 or 6 racks up in a race to 7 against Larry, it's like poking a wild animal. You don't want to annoy the guy, because he's then going to be 100% focused. Okay, get a wee run in the ball here or there, but you've still got to put them in the holes at the crucial time. But that's what I've always said. Don't annoy Larry. You start to annoy him, and the way to annoy him is to get in front of him. You don't want to start poking him. So we've got a big match on here to see who's going to survive the rest of this tournament, or at least another match anyway. And we've been, well, I've already cursed Spectre Dawn because he's rattled a 3 again. We've been on for 2 hours. Now, has he got away with it? I think he might have, you know. He certainly has. Well, does Semi-Pro want to run up and down past the 4? I mean, there's plenty of room to get past the 4 and kick the 3 in from the short rail at the bottom here. Not interested. And at the end of the day, I think that was not the best shot to be playing. I think he should have tried a kick in, up and down. He ended up getting a double kiss, and he's pretty much gifted the opportunity for Spectre Dawn in this first rack. Well, there's the old saying, he who dares wins. There was a gap to get the cue ball down that rail and kick that ball in, and Semi refused it. Had a dodgy little touch on the ball, get the double kiss, teed it up for Spectre Dawn, and if he can just get nice in the 8, which he has done, he'll complete the formalities in this rack. So Spectre Dawn 1-0, only a race to 4. And the 3 ball, thinking about it, it hasn't gone. And Semi Pro has his chance, although it's not going to be easy. Yes, the 3 ball pots, but the 4 ball is very adjacent as well. And the 7 ball's in the way to get to the 4 ball, so ideally he wants an angle on this 3 so he can break something out here, I think. He's got to take the risk. And he's missed the tooth. Totally forgot about the pot. And the mistakes are coming thick and fast for Semi Pro, all at the wrong time. Well, his first mistake cost him the first rack. That's his second one. And, well, where Spectre Dawn is, he's again stuck to the rail pretty much, so he can only get the top of the cue ball. He could spin off the 6 and go in. Well, he's stunned it heavy just to try and nudge things into play. And whatever he chooses, there is nothing easy here. Obviously, it's only going to go into that middle. And again, another confident pot. Doesn't spend too long thinking about them, because in some ways that's the best way to play those shots. You either see the angle or you don't. There's no point spending all your shot clock time thinking about it. Usually instinct tells you the angle and you're going to be there or thereabouts. And that's pretty much what Spectre Dawn does. He doesn't overthink the shot. And it's pretty successful for him. And what's more, given the opportunity that he did get, he's odds-on favourite to be 2-0 up. Well, it goes in off the right jaw. I thought that was threatening to stay straight there and hit the end rail, but it goes in. Well, good evening to Rotor Monkey. I never even noticed you in nap knickers there as well. So, Semi Pro has got himself into a bit of a hole here with 2 errors and 2 racks lost because of them at the end of the day. Good first shot in the 1. Again, just a wrong angle in the 2, but it's an angle that's going to take him down table. Has he held it enough? He's trying to hold it. Well, I think it would have been far easier to let it run and run it into the middle. He's leaving himself tough work here, and that 7 needs to get out of the way. Well, he has got loads of room if you look at it from here, but it's tight. And it goes in clean. But you've got a very little room for manoeuvre in the race to 4 when you're 2-0 down. The 8 ball's off the rail by, well, how much? More than enough if you get good on it. Well, this is going to be a testy one. Well, big testy one at distance. Still got to get this flush. Needs to run. Well, he should be off the mark. Well, a couple of balls threatened, but nothing goes. And we've got a proper mess on this right side of the table. I don't know whether the table fitters checked this table, but it's certainly got a distinct slope to the right. And no prizes for guessing where Semi-Pro's going to be here. He's going to be in some sort of trouble. Well, this is going to break out the 6. No, it hasn't. I thought that was going to... I thought he was odds on. He was going to break out the 6 and 7. Well, what a good safety. He'll be well pleased with that outcome. And if Spectre Don can get this cigarette paper thin, well, he hasn't done. Got it too thick. But let's look at this 6 and 7, because I think they both go. Well, the 6 goes. So Semi-Pro. And the 5 goes past the 6, so he doesn't need to move anything. Thing is, though, he's got to get to the 4, so how he finishes on the 4 will be deciding how good he's going to be in this 5. And now he has to avoid the 6 and 7, and he can stun past them. Or can he? I don't think he can get this thick enough. Maybe not. Yeah, he's checked the cue ball. Again, I've just had a drink of water and now I've got the hiccups again. And now he's going to have to bail out with a jump stick. And will he have a shot in the 6 after it? And there's your answer. No joy. And he's giving it the old capo. And if it bounces, again, well, at least it's given him a glimmer of hope here. It's not easy, but Spectre Don will be going all out for the cut. Make no doubt about that. There's no way he's looking to play this safe, I would think. He's going to have to pick the line and go 100% for it. Played it well. Oh, he's... Well, he's got the cut. Drink from a glass, not the bottle. Do you seriously think we're going to run downstairs and get a glass just to open a bottle and put water in it? You're joking. I'll suffer the hiccups instead. I don't know why it does that with me. But Spectre Dawn is going to be one away. And the 8 ball goes in bottom right, and the 1 ball's going to be in play. And everything is there. So this match should be over. Quick look at the bracket. And I can move across. What's the score there? It looks as if Bankster's 3-0 up against Larry, or is that 6-3 to Larry? I can't read it. No, it's 3-0 to Bankster according to that. So Larry's back against the wall already in that match. Bankster making the use of his handicap, and meanwhile, Spectre Dawn scratched and giving Semi-Pro a lifeline. Well, it's all happening. Well, I think Semi-Pro had split his cue there and put it back in the case. He was ready to head home. But when things like that happen, sometimes you get to thinking things might start going your way as well. Because all Semi-Pro needs is a Larry break. If he can get a Larry break, it'll be going all the way. So here we go, Semi-Pro trailing 2 racks to 3 in the race to 4. Wants a ball and a shot, and you'll never guess, it's come up dry, and the one is plumb on, and everything's there again for Spectre Dawn. How does this say? Is that the 4 ball? Let's have a look at it. Well, that's nailed to the rail. That's frozen. So that's got to be played from a half decent angle, very much in the vicinity of the 4 ball, for that to be made an easy enough pot. It is not easy where it's stuck. And I would like to think Spectre Dawn's given it a good look, because he needs to get right down on this 4 ball. Now these are testy, because this can easily squirt out from the rail. Like that. That's how difficult they are when they're stuck to the rail. Now Semi-Pro could try and get cute here. He could try and drop into that spot behind the 5, but it's a very delicate shot. Well, he's gone all out for it, for the bank. Has he got a shot? Yes, he has. And we should be going all the way, unless I've cursed Semi-Pro by saying that. But just a roll through on the 6 and roll through far enough to be rolling the 7 into the middle. And that looks reasonable enough to me, even though he's run a bit further than he would like. But I think it's straightforward enough to just drop this in and go through. And now a little stun draw, kill shot. And it will be Semi-Pro to break the decider. Gets a ball. He's not got a shot though. The 4 ball has gone, but he's blocked out on the 1. Now, where do you push? Well, I'd pretty much push towards the 3 ball. because if you go down the bottom of the table anywhere behind the 1 and that 9 ball's adjacent, you could be locked up in the 9. That would be my thinking. And semi-pro, well, if it's not the 9, it'll be the 6. And that's asking for trouble. And Spectre Dawn's done neither there. I don't know what he had in mind there, but nothing in that shot worked. He wasn't risking the controlled shot to drop in behind the 6. And as he's played, in the end, what turned out to be a nothing shot, and he's gifted semi-pro a chance to run out to steal the match. Strange shot there by Spectre. I don't know what he was thinking. A little delicate one to drop in behind the 4. What ball's that up there? Is that my eyes? I'm thinking that's a 4. It's a bloody 7. Doesn't want to keep running. Oh, it's now gone awkward again. And he's going to have to leave the 7-8 combo if he can get back in line with it. And this looks as if it's going to bounce nice. It couldn't be sitting any better, but he's got to watch this 7 ball doesn't finish in the top rail. And the angle that he's got to make this hit, he's got to hit it soft enough so it doesn't go there like that, because that was always on the cards. And now if he just plays it thin to get distance, or he plays the double kiss, you know that Spectre Dawn's going to be going for the bank one way or another. But semi-pro's gone for it. He's got it, and he's going to have to go again. All or nothing. And in it goes. Well, it's been a good survival exercise for semi-pro in that match. And he goes through in the end by the skin of his teeth. By 2 good banks at the end there to beat Spectre Dawn by 4 racks to 3. And meanwhile, I think Larry's got work in his hands here. Let us get this bracket to work. And we'll see that Bankster is 4 racks to 2 up in the hot seat match. And meanwhile, Semi-Pro is now about to play Bedhead, but we'll leave them get on with it and we'll nip in and see how Larry and Bankster are doing, provided I can get in the room. And we'll join just at the end of a rack. Larry's won it. He's back to within 1. Bankster getting the 7 ball. And the 7 ball has gone in the break. And of course that's Bankster's money ball, and that stays down. So now Bankster has to run to the 9 ball to win this rack. Larry going all out for the cut in the 1. And now we're going to see how Bankster deals with this situation without his money ball. Trying to defend his lead and trying to stretch his lead. It's, I think, just going to hold. It's just going to hold. How's that finished? Oh, now he's not got a shot. Well, if he punches it around the angles, it's certainly heading down towards the 5 and 9. But he just needs to get lucky. He's looking at the thin cut. He's gone all out. The 6 ball gets clattered. It runs into the 5 and 9. And Larry, well, he's got a toughie because the 3 is extremely tight to the 6. It could either go in off the 5 or do that and hit the 6 and the 5. Well, I'll tell you something. We've seen some bits of luck for Larry tonight. And I said earlier, whenever you start getting things like these working out for you, you somehow think you're destined to go on to get to the final. And, well, when you see that happening, there's nothing to suggest anything else is going to happen. Although, I think he couldn't have nailed it any better in this 5 ball. Well, Larry was 3-0 down in this match when we checked on the score earlier on. While we were in the semi-pro Spectre Dawn match, but now he's going to be back all square. Like I said earlier, I think Bankster has annoyed Larry by getting 3-0 up. That's got Larry in full focus mode. So into rack number 9. In the race to 7. And again the balls are all moving. But not towards a pocket they ain't. Well, all the balls are wide open. Larry's got a cut into the middle and no guarantee he's going to be on the 2 from it. And he's not risking it. Just, it wasn't an easy cut into the middle, mind you, but he's played a half decent safety. Now, well, that will cut into the middle, but it's the same problem. The cue ball needs enough pace on it to make the cut and get that 1 ball moving, which obviously then means the cue ball's moving. And Larry's managed to drag off all the pace, checked it up to straighten up off the rail, and he's held a pretty damn good line on the 2. Needs to miss the 3. Well, again, even though he's not missed it, it's rolled in perfect for him. He wanted to play the 3 into the same pocket, runs into it, and it finishes pretty much dead on into the top pocket, or the bottom pocket, depending what end of the table you're at. But that was not his best, because now he's got a problem. He's got a problem by hitting the 8 ball when he tries to pot this 5, and the 6 ball is in no mean position to get good on, especially when you hit the 8. So he's just going to have to hit and hope here. Hope he gets a good rub, and he's managed to avoid the 8. Played it well. Again, checking the cue ball up to alter the line in the cue ball to stop it running in to that 8. And the 7 ball goes past the 9, no problem. Again, he's just short of pace. Needed a bit more juice in that, a wee bit more fizz. Again, it's the bedhead cut. Now needs to miss the 9, and that has worked out nice. So from 3-0 down, he's going to be 5-4 up. with the break. I don't think there's anything doing here either, but now the pressure is on Bankster with his 7-ball money ball and all the balls in the open, provided he can see the one that is, which he can, and he doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball to get on the 2. And this is where Bankster needs to settle it down and take his time. Now 3 balls the problem. Is he going to come out and get in a good line to try and play the combo, or is he going to try and somehow get behind it on the left side and the short side? Well, he's left either a safety or an attempted combo. Now they are not easy, but he's played it well. So remember, he only has to get to the 7. Now he needs to have a good line in the 6. He's dead straight in the 4, and that's where the problems start. There's not much you can do with the cue ball here. Well, he's gone for the big draw. And look at how that ball hit that bottom rail and then fires out to the right. Now you might be better not to try and do too much with the cue ball here. Just try and get it over the left side to at least see past the 9 ball and see the 7 so he can pot it. I wouldn't be trying anything too fancy, and that's exactly what he's done. He's left himself at distance, and he can just see enough of it to cut it in. And so we're back all square. Well, we're now running into dry break territory here. That's another one, this time for Bankster. Nothing doing. Larry can, well, he's probably going all out for the pot here because the 2's down at the same end of the table. He's bound to be on the 2 if he pots this one. Bottom right hand corner. Nicely controlled. Perfect angle on the 2 to get in the gap. Now he wants to make sure that he takes this line to get to about here. The gap's there. He's going to run into the 9, and that's how it scuppers you. That was the line he had to take. And any collision in that 9, especially full ball more or less, he's going to end up dead straight. And now looking for cover. And that will do. Easy kick in the 3, not a problem to hit the 3. It's always the problem is how's your luck. Because you know full well that's all you can rely on here. But I'd be digging down into the bottom of this cue ball to try and kick in behind it and full in the face. Now that should never have been missed. That 3 ball. That was not difficult to hit. But it's 5 racks all. Larry with ball in hand now. And a problem with the 7 ball. That's the one that's going to cause the issue. And he's also got to get up the table far enough to be able to play the 5 easy enough. So now it's all about how the shot is in the 6, because that means it could be a simple roll through for the 7 from that right side as we look. And that's exactly what it'll be. He's perfect. All he needs to do is drop through to the rail and come through far enough so he's pretty much looking down the barrel in this 7-ball. And he's left it higher to give him an angle to get back onto the 8. So again, he has to make sure he comes back up to the middle pocket. He doesn't want to chicken out. He needs to get himself high enough. And that will do. So Larry, one away from repeating last week's objective up until now, and that's getting to the final. And a ball has gone in, didn't catch what one it was. It was the 5. Well, now again, he's got a tough cut in the 1. Now the thin cut in the 1 means the cue ball's going to cross the table. If it stays in play, he will be on the 2. He might end up behind the 4 though. And he's not judged it. And this is where it gets dangerous, especially with Bankster's 7-ball still in the table. As long as that ball's there, if Bankster gets a sniff, he'll have an open invitation to take this all the way. Well, now Larry could have him in trouble again. Again, it's not difficult hitting the 2. I'm looking to see where the 4-ball goes, depending how hard he hits this. And Larry won't be travelling too far, he's just trying to get behind the 9 and the 6. Well, this would be a big ask to try and go up and down the table and hit that too. The line is not really there. It's a bit too narrow. It's actually where the 3-ball is. But there's no room at all to get to that too. Well, he's played a jump, and what a result. He's got a hit and he's left nothing easy. Well, the little cannon into the 8 hasn't done him any harm, because the 7 and the 8 are still in play. Nothing's locked up. And again, it's all about the angle on the 6 and how far you are off that rail to make it a lot easier to get up for the 7. You don't want to be stuck to the rail. You want to be like there. And it's a wee bit straight, but he's going to leave this a cut if he doesn't get any spin in this, I think. Well, he's got the wrong. Is it going to keep going? I think he's going to be perfect. That's absolutely plumb. I don't know whether that's exactly where he wanted to be, but that'll do. Could not have played it any better. So Larry's last two matches, the one against semi-pro, he was 6-2 down. Came back and won it in the last rack. This time it's been a wee bit more comfortable, although he was 3-0 down. And he's left himself really awkward in the 9. But in it goes. So Larry has given himself the chance to defend his win from last week and back it up with a follow-up one this week. And he goes through to the final, beating Bankster by 7 racks to 5, but there might be another showdown between these two because Bankster moves over to the one-loss side with his money ball. Right, let's see where we are now. Well, we know where we are. Larry's through at the final. Meanwhile, we've got semi-pro is 3-all with Bedhead. Let's dive in, but the match is now finished and the results come through in that one. We've just missed it. And semi-pro has gone down. Bedhead wins a final rack decider. So it's a 4-3 win to Bedhead. So Bedhead and Bankster will now go ahead. Larry can again go and have a coffee or whatever, maybe something stronger. Waiting on the outcome of this match. So we've been on the go for just over 2 hours 35 minutes. That's not bad. And these two guys will go ahead in a second or two. Now wait a minute, what's happening there? Is there that's a different tournament. I was getting mixed up there. I'm thinking, why is Black Jagged and Christian still playing? And I've just realised we've got other tournaments on. Right. We'll get in the room. Bedhead looks as if he's won the lag. And we'll break. Race to 4, remember. And Bankster this time is getting a 6 ball. And Bedhead, though, has taken care of the 6 ball. He's taken care of a whole stack of them. We've lost the 5, the 6 and the 8. But he's no shot in the 1. So, while this match is underway, I'm going to nip for a bathroom break. I'll be back in a minute or two. Right, I'm back. Well, now, what did I miss? Yeah, going to start drinking and acting like snakes. Well, Bedhead takes out the first one. But, again, very dangerous for Bankster having that 6 ball as a money ball. That means he's always a threat. But he won't be a threat if Bedhead can keep him away from the table. But Bedhead's not getting much joy in his break by having a shot. 5 balls gone this time. Just looking for the push out. I still reckon Bankster's going to have a cut at this one. I'm just hoping he gets lucky and has a shot in the 2. No. Common sense has prevailed. But it hasn't worked out. And Bedhead can just push this one in and come out into the table. He should be on the 2 past the 8 ball. Larry, you there? That's what I meant to ask him. When was the last time you saw 5 balls in the break in VP4? I think that's the first time I've seen that in a long, long time. In fact, I can't remember the last time I did. Because you had 5 balls in the break earlier on tonight. I think, what was that story somebody was telling in one of the live streams I was watching? I can't remember. Alex Pagaline had, or did somebody say it in the stream the other week there? Alex Pagaline had like 6 balls in the break and still couldn't run out. I think that's what happened to him. I don't think he had a shot in the next ball and he couldn't run out and lost the rack. Having sunk 6 in the break. Or somebody else has had it. Yeah, the ball, you mean, you know, the ball start running around, they're bound to find a pocket at some point. Well, Bedhead's overcut the 7, but of course, now we're at the stage where Bankster's money ball's gone and Bankster has got no shot. Well, he certainly can jump out of it. So Bedhead getting the run in there. But that's just going to tee up, I think. So this is tonight's semi-final match to see who's going to play Larry in the final. And, well, I can't be blamed for that because I was looking at the bracket at the time. That was not my fault. But Bankster's been given a lifeline. You think so, Larry? Because the rack's further up the table, they'll get more room to run. You know, around the top end of the table where the score things are. You know, they'll get a more open area to run around. It's not as tight. But was he kicked out the... Snakes needs to be kicked. I thought he said he had been kicked and I didn't read that right. Yeah, but there's nobody here to do it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, had I been still a moderator, he would have been here, you know, 2 hours ago. He'd have been gone. I would have booted him. Is there nobody there in this bloody lobby? Where the hell are they? There's only Brian here, and he'll still be in bed. No, wait a minute. What time is it now? It's 10 to 10 my time. It's about 7 in the morning where Brian is. He'll probably just be getting out of bed, so there's nobody here. Well, that Risk's there, but I don't talk to him. He's an arsehole. I don't care who knows it. Yeah, there's nobody there. Somebody can talk to that Risk character. I certainly won't be talking to him. Anyway, that's for them to deal with. Now, well, it was tight, but he got there, but he's lumbered himself off the 9. The collision in the 9, and he's dead and buried. Well, he'll do well to get over that. He has done. He's had a good go at the pot, but it was tough. Well, can Bedhead get the job done this time? It shouldn't be any problem. So 2-1. How's the break going to go? Again, they're all running. 8 ball's going to have a look, but it ain't going to get there. And again, Bankster, no shot. Well, if you can cut this into the 3 thin enough, like that, you can at least get some sort of distance. But again, there's enough there, I think, for Bedhead to see that one. He'll have a thin cut at it. Cue ball may well run into the 8, if that is the 8 that's up there. And if he hits it half ball on the right side of the 8, it might be actually too thin that he'll hit it on the left side. But if it comes skimming off the 8, let's see, no, he's hit it full in the face. And it's not the 8, it's the 4. The 8's hanging over the pocket. I didn't even notice that. And it shouldn't be anything too difficult to cut the 3 onto the 8. Now these are maybe going to fall into place here, because provided Bedhead can play off the 3, and he will do, he'll be able to come down this right hand side, but he's got to get the line very good, because the 4 does go, and if he goes too low, he's running away from the 5. If he gets the perfect angle, he can drop down onto the 5, but it's a very narrow window, so he's going into the open area. Now, he's going to have to push this through with a bit of spin, I think. I don't know whether he can play it clean, can he? Let's have a look. I think, well, he thinks he can get there. He's not putting anything on it, I don't think. Well, let's see if he's going to be able to see this 5, though. Well, I would have tried to check that up with a bit of spin. I don't know whether it would have worked, but in the end, Bankster won't be caring. He's going to be back at the table. But he's not going to have a shot. Pretty good safety. And there is enough for the 5 ball. That 7 in the line there gives a good guide for Bankster. But it wasn't easy. Now how's the 6-9 sitting? Well, nothing's happening there, so there's still a safety net there with this 6 ball. It's not going anywhere. The bedhead's got left hand side on it. Trying to find a line that would get a little nudge. But if he goes far enough, I don't think he can even do that. He would have needed to have been... Yeah, he's going to try and avoid moving the 9 here. He needs to get it. Well, that's worked out nice. That is very nice. So Bankster is backed into a corner here. Big time. Because he's not jumping that. Or is he? I think he's given it serious consideration. He's out of the jump stick. Well, this will be a good shot. If he can get over these 2 balls and get a hit. Yeah, I think he was hoping to get really fortunate there. So ball in hand. And Bedhead should be 1 away from the final. Well, that risks a bit late in arriving in the room. Did somebody PM him? Well, if they need it, video evidence, the video evidence is there of that arsehole coming in and what he's typing in the chat. So dry break, and it's well, as we say again, it's last chance saloon for Bankster. He's got that wrong because he's hit it on the way back off the rail and he's left it plumb on. Now anything but dead straight. Well, he's got a slight angle, and again Bedhead focusing on the stun, the firm stun. Would you believe it? He's fluked to 1. What a jam he get. He's about as jammy as Larry has been tonight, and that's saying something. Well, I think if Bedhead does go through to the final, I think Larry and Bedhead will nullify each other. The way they're getting a wee bit of this running tonight. Now, can Bedhead capitalise on it and get the job done? That's the question. He's going to have to find a way to get down in this 4 ball. And even if he gets the 4, how does he deal with the 5? Obviously there is a shot for a combo if he can get there or thereabouts. Now the line looks good, the pace looks good. It just needs to keep going. It's not bad. But he's going to have to play this gentle to stop the 5 ball disappearing somewhere. 5 ball's going to come back across into the table depending on the pace. Well, he's played it perfect. Looks all but over now. So Bedhead just completing the formality of the 8 and 9. And it's going to be Bedhead and Larry in the final. And Bedhead looking to steal Larry's crown from his win last week. So Bedhead goes through against Bankster by 4 racks to 1. But once again, Bankster's in the money each week. As long as you come out with more money than you spent to go in, it's a win. That's all that matters. So the final between Bedhead and Larry. And, well, there's still somebody asleep in that other room because the semi-pro Bedhead room's still up. And the room is up for Larry and Bedhead. Should be a scratch match, I would imagine. Now, what's happened here? Oh, I'm in. And the reason we were late in getting in is because the lag was going ahead at that time. Bedhead has won the lag. There's no handicap. It's scratch. And Bedhead started with a 1 ball and a 7 ball. And could have Larry in trouble here. And he's got that wrong because he got into the cue ball too soon there. Trying to lock in behind the 3 and the 5 and the 9, and he's nudged into the 9 instead. So he got it wrong there. And likewise, Larry can pot the 2. He's unlikely to get good in the 3, but if he gets below the 3, somehow or other, he can certainly have Bedhead in trouble. Well, he'll take that. Well, I'll tell you, Larry's getting the little nudges, he's getting the little collisions, and he's getting a shot. Now again, getting far enough up the table's the important one with that shot. So that all you're doing is dropping the 4 in. You've nothing else to do with the cue ball other than just have enough pace to drop the 4 in and stop on that 5. Oh, big yawn. Well, he's dead straight, so just the running, well, just enough angle to get it to run off the bottom rail. Again, as long as you're somewhere up by the middle pockets, when the 9's sitting in that position, you're always going to have a shot. Just blow my nose a sec. So Larry gets off and running. This time, Larry's dry. Bedhead's not really got a shot. 3 ball is awkward. Again, Bedhead's touch. He's getting caught out with the little bounce. That little bit more bounce and run. He's trying to play a couple of delicate little ones and the cue ball's just squirting out. Well, we've seen that the 3 ball isn't doing much, but we know where Larry's got the cue ball, that Bedhead's going to be nailed here. Well, Larry's run into the 5. He should have played a bit more of a stun to get closer to the 5, because it's easy to kick the 3. Bedhead should never have had this kick. And now the 7 ball's gone outward. Well, look at it where the 7 is there. That's where the cue ball ends up. You've got an easy combo. The other thing again that's handy in this situation is that if Larry can get nicely on this 5, he can have the cue ball this side of the 6 to run the 6 in and get the cue ball down here for that shot. But Larry somehow finished in behind the 6 and got himself in trouble. But in the end, it's ended up he's bailed out, and he may well get very nicely on this 7 and 8. So it's all about judging the pace. He wants to get it dead on if he can. Well, that isn't it. But the line's pretty good. And in goes the 8. And another testy cut in this 7. These are not easy. Well, immediately Larry's opening up the gap. Well, he's got a ball, but this cue ball's running away. He's going to have to use Old Faithful again here. And if he can get enough pace in the cue ball and it stays in the cue ball, he may well be able to jump this 8 and 9, pot the 1 and run the cue ball far enough so that he can have a sight in the 2. But you see, that's the problem. The problem is at that distance having enough pace in the cue ball. He'll still be able to spin this in off the rail. Just got to pick that contact point. But he's going to have to run around firm to get around the table and up top without hitting the 5 ball and still have a cut in the 3. He's missed the 5. And, well, he's going to be Chinese snookered, sort of. Not quite. I think he's okay. Well, that's half a Chinese snooker. He's hampered by the 7. But he's got nothing to do with the cue ball other than jack up and kill it. Unless he wants to run through for the 4 into the middle. But he's got to run through into the open country. Oh, surely he's not on the point, is he? No, he's okay. And that's awkward, been in the corner. And Bedhead has got his chance. Well, we've been on for 3 hours and 5 minutes so far. The tournament's gone reasonably quick in comparison. I think last week was 3 hours and 49 minutes. Now this is a tricky one. That 9 ball is such a hamper where it is. You just got to delicately push the 7 in to still see the 8, which he's managed to do. And may well just drop this 8 in, or he can run around the table if he can squeeze enough out of it. The spin doing the trick. Bedhead's going to be off the mark. And he's got the table at his mercy if he can get a ball in a shot. Again, breaking from the far left. Loads of movement this time. Very often the closer to the rail you go, the deader the break seems to be sometimes, but then on other occasions they break all over the place. It's worked for him. 6 ball is gone. Thin one on the 1. Now what about this 2 ball? Well, the 2 ball doesn't go. Not from this side anyway, obviously. And he's trying to get in the gap, and that's perfect. Couldn't have placed it any better with his hands. Right into the spot. I'll tell you, the state I'm in right now, Slim, I couldn't pot a ball. I struggle to most times anyway, but right now my brain's half asleep. Hopefully I can get a better night's sleep tonight because I am really tired. It's one of those broken nights, broken sleep nights, if you call them. I think I had to get up to the bathroom twice as well. That didn't help. And I'm back up at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning as well. So basically my head needs to hit the pillow, and then unconsciousness needs to follow rapidly. So Bedhead with a strong response. But then again he's left his favourite Bedhead cut. And it's still not over yet, this rack. But in it goes. They're all square. So the deficit is gone from 2-0 down. And again, a ball in the break. And this time it's the 1 ball, I think. 2 balls on the side rail. And the 3 ball is very adjacent into the right middle. So I'm already giving Bedhead this rack, bar for the fact the 4 ball is nowhere near good. That's the problem to be dealt with. And what's the line he's got in this 3 ball? Well, he can certainly, he's got enough room. Well, he's not ran through far enough, but he's looking to play the combo here. He's looking to just skim that 4 onto the net. Well, didn't you get enough time to do it? But anyway, he done it. Yeah, I think, as I said earlier, Potman, my problem last night was I was watching what game was I watching first? I had, what's this, at 8 PM anyway, I had the Rangers Brøndby game on. What a disappointing team that Brøndby were. They were terrible. But I can't remember what other match I was switching it backward and forward from. And so I was right up until the last kick of the ball which was after 10 o'clock again last night. So we're watching all the football and whatever was going on. My head was ticking over for a good hour, and that's why I found it difficult to get to sleep. It's always the same after this as well, but usually I'm that tired. I don't hang around that long once I get to bed. Well, Bedhead tried everything there, tried to pot the two and pot the cue ball at the same time. That shows you that Snakes guy doesn't watch any of the streams because he knows fine well I don't answer PMs when I'm streaming. In fact, you know what? I'm not even going to read it because it's just going to be a load of bull. So Bedhead, from 2-0 down, got himself 3-2 up, but that's going to be short-lived. Missing the pot and the two, giving Larry his chance to square the deal. And does that stuff work for you, Potman? Because I found that Guinness does the same thing. I always say that if you have a can of draft Guinness just before you're going to bed, you might be up to the bathroom during the night, but you'll have a good bloody sleep. Well, that was a delicate little combo by Bedhead. That was excellent. You're going to have to play another one in a minute. Just having a quick look at this 3-4. Doesn't seem to be that much of a problem. He's just got to make sure. Again, it's also easy when you're looking at it like that, because you're making a thin cut onto the edge of the 4. But you've got to get to that line to be able to do that comfortably. And this is where it becomes very difficult, because the eye line's nowhere near where it should be. He's cutting that way and still trying to cut that way. And it's worked out nice again, and he's got a nice angle in the 3 just to come back across beyond the 7. And now he can come back the way off the 5 as well and take the 7 into the same pocket. Just needs to jack up. Switched to I think last night when after the what was it? Was it after the foot? I think it was after the foot. That's the other reason I probably had struggled to get to sleep. I went down the stair and had a cup of coffee because when I switched the TV on, I didn't even realise a new series of Taskmaster was on. So I caught the very last 5 minutes of Taskmaster when I switched the telly on. Then I went to bed. Anyway, Bedhead back into the lead. 6 ball hanging over the corner. Larry with, again, a very dodgy starting shot here, this cutting the 1. Again, a perfect line. Now, same problem. The problem isn't potting the 2 ball. The problem's the cue ball and what it collides with. Because this needs to go right out into the table or finish on the left side like that. And he's got the pace perfect. Because there was only those areas he could go for. If he went to the right side, it means running the cue ball a lot more. But if you can use the line that you've got and find that gap between the 4 and 5, with the right pace, you should be sitting roughly where Larry is right now. Couldn't have played it much better. And that little brush in the 4. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's got enough angle just to stun out into the table, or he can go to the top rail or the bottom rail or whatever rail it is as we look, and that will do. No problem with position because the 6 ball's hanging over the opposite corner. Now the question is one of these two players going to get some daylight between them? It's we're swapping racks here at the moment. You look at that. You look at that timestamp that comes up there. The alert for the cowboy, the 10-footer. The alert comes up at half a minute after the quarter, the 15 minutes to go. So the server clocks out of sync by 30 seconds at least. Meanwhile, Bedhead getting it back all square. What happened there? Is that a push out? I think I'm beginning to fall asleep. I'm totally losing track of what happened there. Was that Larry that broke? Because there's a couple of balls gone. I didn't see a push out coming up, so Larry's just played safe. I think that's what's happened. Now, is Larry going to be tempted here? I reckon he will. Or is he just going to try and push it into the gap and send it down the table? No, he's gone for the cut. Needs to get lucky. I think he's going to get lucky here. Look at that. He's just bounced back into the gap. Where's the cue ball going now? Well, that's just gone too far. Now he's in no man's land. Now, once again, see, with these trackball mice, it's a bit more fiddly to play the lock-up, but you can play the lock-up in the 8 ball here if you're brave enough. But Larry's not thinking about that. I think Larry's going to ride his luck a bit more with this shot to see if he can cut this 3 and still be on the 4. Well, he's got the 3, that's excellent. And now, well, he should be pretty much home and dry. Anywhere into the middle of the table, he's going to be on the 8 ball. But Larry's going to have the first chance, provided he takes these 2 out, he's going to have the first chance at opening up a 2-rack lead if he can get a ball and a shot on his next break. So rack number 10, Larry breaks off with a 1-rack lead, and he's got a ball. The 8's gone, he's on the 1. Now how does that look from his side? Well, if he gets into this a little tad with a draw, he can play the 2 into the middle. That'd be one way of doing it. You can just sort of stun draw over this way a bit and be on the 2 one way or another. And that's why you miss the pots, by playing the stunt. Pushed it offline slightly, and with the pace, as soon as they hit the knuckles, they don't go in. Bedhead now, well, not any sort of inviting shot in the 2. Looks as if he's just pushing towards the 4 here with this shot and running down the top end of the table, trying to use the 9 as cover. That'd be one option. I mean, there is that option there if you can get the 2 near the 4. The bedhead's trying to go the other way. That works as well, pretty much. Good evening to Albinario. Late, very, very late to the party. Well, I mean, let's be honest, Slim. All of you guys are pretty much the same as far as that goes. If the ball's got a pocket to go into and you've got half a chance of doing it, you'll go for it anyway. There are very rare occasions that you see a lot of safety played. Well, that'll work. Although he's got nothing in the 3, and he can't get enough of the 3 to get in behind the 5 and 6, so now this is tricky. If he cuts the 3 and it runs into the 6, all he's going to leave is a combo with the 3-5. Like that. Commentator's eye. He's never wrong. I mean, you could see that coming a mile away. That if he just sent it to the rail and send it into the 6, it's going to leave a combo. And Larry's set it up here for Bedhead. And I think that that would have needed to be played a lot harder to get the 3 ball out of there, but then again, it's not going to be a great safety either way you play it. There was nothing easy to, you know, there wasn't an easy shot there to play to leave that really safe. Where's the cue ball going, Bedhead? Well, here's the break that's going to give Larry the 2-rack lead, and it's come from Bedhead's error. Too much spin in the cue ball, and it's a gift for Larry. Well, Larry's getting all the encouragement he needs to defend his win from last week. He's getting that little bit of running. He's got the error from Bedhead, and he's about to open up the 2-rack gap that we spoke about. This is the first real break in the match, and it's 6-4 to Larry. But it's self-inflicted damage there for Bedhead. And now Larry looking to push on, and I don't think it's going to work. It's come up dry. But again, Larry's getting that little bit of run because he's left Bedhead nothing. No shot. Any other time you break, you end up leaving them all on, and the 1 ball is easy to start with. Again, this problem here isn't the fact that you can't hit the 1, it's easy to kick it. But Larry thinks he can get enough room to just pop this in with a jump stick. And now the pace that he had in the cue ball, which runs out, is perfect to hold on the 2. That's where the amount of pace you have in a jump shot works in your favour, that the cue ball's not going to run away too far. And it was always going to stay in the bottom side of or the top side of the 2 as we look. But it's a chance now, a very big opportunity for Larry to stretch that lead. But how does he deal with the 6 ball? Let's have a look at it. Well, again, from where the 5 is, he's odds on that he could play a billiard onto the 9. There's a bit of a gap. Ideally, you want to be fairly close to this if you can. Might need to stun it a bit to get the billiard to work. It's not absolutely ideal, but he's given himself the best chance of getting there by where he's left the cue ball. He needs to get this a wee bit thicker on the 6, I think, just for the cue ball to skim into that 9. Yeah, he ended up skimming. He got the 6 thicker, but he skimmed across the 9. Was never easy. And Larry, with his 2-rack lead, it might be short-lived. So the final, race to 9. Larry in his second Friday night final in a row after having won last week's. And, well, Bethead was playing that with lots of inside there to check the cue ball and keep it from running into the 8 when it hit the rail. And that's why he's missed the 7 ball by the country mile. And that's a big error. And a blind pocket cut by Larry, and I think there's a bit of fatigue showing here from these two guys as well. That's partly affecting it. I know if they feel anything like I do, they'll not be able to pot a ball. And that's a good bank. He's going to have to dig out another good one. And this is the difference between 1 rack and 3 racks in the outcome of this shot right here. And that's not going to go. You see how it comes back, but I think he's going to get lucky. And Larry's got nothing. Well, how do you keep this safe, Larry? Can you run straight through, bank the 8 and keep the cue ball in behind the 9 by just running off the end rail with that same line? I don't know whether he can, but he might as well have a go at it. The 8 ball needs to bank past the 9 and not hit the cue ball on the way back to have any chance of doing that shot. I don't know whether there's enough room to manoeuvre there at all. Well, Larry's giving it the old heave-ho. Cue ball. And the cue ball's gone. And Bedhead will be back to within 1. So Larry getting a bad roll of the cue ball there. Mind you, he had no option but to give it a go. He had no real shot on. And Bedhead now, with the table at his command, with a chance if he can get a ball, which he has done. But he's got no shot because some balls moved, the others lay stone dead in the middle of the pack. That's the 1 and the 5. And the 9, they've gone nowhere. That's a good one from Bedhead. Although there is a gap, and Larry could have Bedhead in trouble here. It's all about just the pace. And that's another good one as well. A good reply. Just enough gap to get through there to play that shot. So now the reward for the good safety, the kick from Bedhead, but the 1 ball in open play. Now what's Larry left himself here? No option but a A combo in the 4. It needs to bounce off the rail. Well, this is across the table twice to get back over to somewhere where the 2 ball is right now. And that looks perfect. He's at least got there. And can he avoid the 9 ball? If he does, he's on the 6. And I think that's why he was trying to stun into it enough to make sure he didn't run into the 9, and it's caused him to miss the 5. So the mistakes are coming. But it's bedhead. Now, 2 minutes ago, Larry should have been 3 racks up. And within that time, bedhead's got a chance to square the match up. Well, we're back all square. Again, bedhead breaking from the far left. And this time the balls are spread far and wide. Certainly got 1 ball in the break. What went? The 6 is gone. He's got the thin cut in the 1. And not an awful lot of manoeuvring they can do with the cue ball from this line. And look where the 2 is. It's in no pleasant position sitting there by the 9. Now, can he get out of there without hitting something? Well, he's managed to do that. And I think he's got no other option, I think, other than having a go at this combo. It's nowhere near set. Never going to be easy, that. Well, now Larry has a shot. You send that 2 ball through there and just keep the cue ball somewhere in this area. Well, bedhead will be going for the kick. Played it perfect. Oh, nice little nudge into the 7. Well, what a result that is. Everything worked out perfect. Now, going back to that shot that Larry played there, the push through. The way I was thinking, if you push it harder, you know, the object ball comes over to there, and then it's not quite as easy to kick it in. Larry played it softer and left the ball right over the pocket. It was just asking to be kicked in. And now Larry's lead may well dwindled and gone, because bedhead more or less in prime position here to take the lead. Inside right English checks the cue ball back towards the 8, but he's ended up 2 straight. And now he's going to have to get greedy here and try and pinch an angle and punch this to get the cue ball out. This could follow the 8 in. You see, he's just taking his medicine and he's going to leave a tough cut or an attempted reverse bank on this 9. Not easy either way. Oh, he's played it well. Never a doubt. And it's a 7-6 lead for Bedhead. And that's one of those duff racks there. Couple of balls move. The 8 ball's actually gone in. The other balls hardly move. And he's still got a shot in the 1, plus he's going to be on the 2. And this might end up perfect. Because every ball is on. Every ball's got a pocket. And it could be suddenly a 2 rack lead. Bedhead on the hill in a minute or 2. Well, perfect little angle to nudge this 6 along the rail. Get the cue ball again up into the table high enough. That's always where you want to get the cue ball in this situation. Because now you can cut the 7 in and come back across the 9 into the same pocket, I think. No, he's got enough angle just to hold it. So, well, Bedhead has come alive at the right time. And I think Larry's got it all to do to defend his win from last night. Again, that's another dud break. That's 2 in a row from that side, where none of the balls really get moving. And that's again because he's close to the rail. But a lot of times they're breaking very good. But then you get this sort of thing happening. And that last rack there, it couldn't have worked out any better, even though only a few balls moved. The 8 ball went all around the angles and went in, and then he runs out. And Larry there having a go to stun the 1 in. Again, it rattles because he had no great opportunity to get good in the 2. That was the problem with that shot. Now, where's Larry's lifeline? Well, it could be the 4 ball, or it could be the fact that Bedhead's just hooked himself behind the 4 and 9. Giving it the old hit and hope. And not a bad outcome. Oh, everything's starting to go wrong for Larry now. He's gone for the cut in the 2, collided with the 8, scratched off the 8, and Bedhead now having a look at that 4 ball. Well, that 4 ball is now in play, but only from a very narrow window. Now, Bedhead could get cute here and try and run into the 4 and 9 just to open him. And if he finds that gap, if he finds that line from there into here and runs into the 4 and 9, he'll be on the 3 and he'll have opened things up a bit better, but he's not looking at it. Let's see if it works out. I think that might have been a shot to play. I don't know whether that's improved anything. Let's have a look. Well, let's have a look. Well, that nudging the 9 has backfired because he's locked it up now. I don't think that goes. Somebody convince me that goes. You see from this side. No, it doesn't go. It's pushing on to the 9. You can see that from there. There's no way that's going. He might try and nudge it off the 7 though. Or he can do that. Now Larry, no option I think but to try and kick this in. Could be his last shot this week. Played it perfect. And it's Larry now having to dig deep. Well, this is just a little kill shot, maybe a little drag, drop in the 8, you're going to be in the 9. And now Larry wants one of his good breaks. Well, he's seen how bedhead breaks have been working. They've worked either great or not at all, really, from the, closer to the rail. So Larry's back within 1 and needs the ball in a shot at the risk of stating the obvious. And what a break. They've gone all over the shop. Is he going to have a shot in the 1? Well, the nudge by the 4 onto the cue ball's not really helped him. And is he going to go all out for the bank? I think he has to, because he's bound to have a shot in the 2. And he knows again it's another shot that could be his last shot because they're all there. But no, he's running for cover. And that will do. Now this is difficult again. I think he can cut the edge of the 1. He might run off the rail into the 6. But he doesn't want to nudge the 2 out because that'll leave Larry, depending on the angle he comes off this 6 ball, if he does run into it, it might leave Larry an enticing cut in the 1. Well, he's gone north of it. Well, it's an easy safety, cutting this 1 back to the top rail and running for cover. But Larry's trying to go with the cue ball to the short rail. Okay, 4 balls a blocker. That'll do. Well, here's a city arrived again. Oh, that's a cracking shot on the 1. And that maybe the shot that decides it tonight. Well, guys, it's going to be short and sweet. But thanks once again for joining us. Thanks for watching. Still nobody watching in VK. We've had nobody typing in Russian. But we'll stick with it. Yeah, it's up in the schedule, Slim. It's on a weekly basis on Twitch. My shifts are the same next week, so there's no reason I shouldn't be doing Friday Night 9 Ball next week. So, it looks like Larry's going to lose his crown. And thanks all for watching. Well, that's a disaster. It might not be over yet, folks. This is a bedhead cut and a half on the 9. And in it goes. Cue ball safe. And Bedhead has won this week's Friday Night 9 Ball. He beats Larry by 9 racks to 7. Quick look at the money. And if I can get the bracket to work. The winner, Bedhead, gets, what does that say? $805 $. Larry gets 405, and the places go back to 4th place gets 200 and 3rd place gets 270. So profitable night again for Bankster. Came out with more than he spent, and well done to Bedhead. Unlucky Larry. It was a brave defence of his weekly title, but Bedhead takes it all. And I'm going to bid you good night, guys. Take care, and everything going according to plan. We should be back next Friday, so I'll bid you good night, stay safe, and hope to see you